Hello and welcome back to the Just Okay podcast.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Just Okay podcast with Whitney Ledesma.
Woo! She's back. You know what got this episode together? American Airlines fucking up so hard. It got me to get out my podcast equipment, okay? I was going to release it as a vlog. No. No. I have decided, you know what? I'm going to explain my story, catch y'all up. My story, my truth of surviving American Airlines. First of all, the trip to Austin was great. It was phenomenal. I got to see a bunch of old friends. I did the Mothership roast battle against Ryan Nesson. He won, but it was the most fun roast battle I have ever done. All of my Jewish jokes like bombed, but I had a great time. I genuinely I've never felt so comfortable on a roast, and I was so, I don't know, I had so much fun. That's my truth, dog. I was traveling from Austin, Texas, back to New York City. I had a layover in Charlotte, North Carolina. I get to North Carolina at 6 p.m. We had to stay on the tarmac till 7. My flight is at 7:22. I wasn't able to make it, and so they moved me to a flight at 9 p.m. That flight at 9 p.m. kept getting delayed. I think it was delayed 3 times, and it was canceled. After I reached out through the app, and they're like, we're not normally supposed to get you a travel voucher through here. You have to go through the help desk, which the help desk was just like bombarded with people. Like there was a line for it around the terminal. It was crazy. It was nuts. And then the guy through the app gives me a travel voucher for a hotel. So I go try to get an Uber for it. The Uber wait was so long, and then I use the app Curb. It is the taxi app, and sometimes I just get so mad at me. I get so mad at myself for I stand up for myself kind of, but then I won't double down and keep standing up for myself. I get to my taxi and some guy tries to take it from me. I was like, yo, no, I already paid for this on the app. No, get out of my car. And then the taxi driver tells him, no, you can get in. And I said, no, that's my car. I already paid for it. He was like, no, he'll pay for himself. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't think these are two people collaborating, but I am a paranoid person. And so I was like, well, what if this is they're trying to sex traffic me or something? Thankfully, they didn't. But it still was an uncomfortable situation. And I yelled at him to drop me off first because I paid for it. And then he was almost going to say no and then said fine. But I was like, this is quite literally, as a single woman traveling, it is scary. And I reported him to the Curb app, and Curb was like, we don't employ him. But whatever. I get it. I guess I'm just so mad I didn't keep standing up for myself. If I was a dude, it wouldn't have been as big of an issue, and I feel like they would have listened. I just get mad I didn't double down and keep standing up for myself, because part of me was also well, he's also in a shitty situation because clearly he is also dealing with this whole Charlotte, North Carolina, American Airlines disaster fiasco. Because I think it's just a thing they do there. So I get to the hotel. I get there and I think finally I'm going to be able to rest. And immediately I get asked by the guy standing at the front desk, I'm sorry, are you from American Airlines? Did they send you here? And I said, yes, I have a travel voucher. And he said, we have no rooms. We don't have any rooms available. We are at capacity. And so the guy was really kind. He tried to help me out. He gave me a free Diet Coke and then a free water. He was like, just fucking take those, because I offered to pay. And he was like, no. He was very kind. But I get on the phone. I'm crying to my boyfriend. I'm crying to American Airlines. I have no idea where I'm going to stay that night. I also don't really have the extra rent's about to be due. I don't have the extra I'm just coming back from Austin. I still haven't been paid from the clubs yet. And I'm just waiting. And I'm I don't have the money really to pay for a hotel. This hotel was taken, the guy on American, this was the first guy who was helpful. Because I had this whole fiasco brought out a horrible side of me. I hate saying American Airlines might put me back in therapy because of how fucking bad the fiasco had me acting. I did not like it. I talked to them 7 times within 3 hours. I was on hold for a majority of it. And I think it was the second guy I called. He was so unhelpful. At one point, I Because, like, I'm in another city. I don't have a place to stay. He's not helping me. I'm asking about the Uber situation. He's like, well, you have to go back inside. I was like, I can't go back inside. I'm outside the terminal. And at one point, I told him, just hang up so I can take the survey already. I did take the survey. It's not going to do a lick of shit. I think they understand that they're just cleaning up Americans' mess. It sucked. I wanted to stay the night in the airport is what I was almost like about to be doing. I got to the hotel. I call American back after they told me we can't take you. And this was like the first helpful guy. I think it was like a white suburban man. He just sounded like he was a father, and me crying reminded him of his daughter. And I was like, you are a minority in this Indian predominant field. This is the first American Airlines person to help me. And it's the only time I think I've ever been happy to talk to a white man on a phone, you know? It was the only time I think I've been just like happy to talk to American Airlines because he was very helpful. So he got me another hotel. But then the hotel I'm currently at is like able to take me. And so I messaged the American Airline. I'm like, well, could I use my travel voucher here? And she was like, no, if we cancel this, you're not going to be able to get another hotel. So I Ubered to this other hotel where they told me is the only one I can stay at. This is it. Get there. I get an email that my reservation was canceled. I don't know why. They told me I was guaranteed to stay here. So I get to the front and I still ask them to type in the code. And I'm like, what happened? Like, can you type in the code? They're like, this is really weird. Your code's not working. And I was like, I think they canceled my reservation. So I call American Airlines. I'm on hold for 30 minutes. This lady was very sweet. I know she was very kind and understanding and very helpful. This last woman I spoke to. And she said, yeah, American Airlines ran out of hotel vouchers for the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, because they have reached capacity. So I said, does that mean I have to pay for a hotel out of pocket? Yes. So I called like 5 different hotels and only one of them has room. It was the Hyatt Place downtown. Great staff. But like I talked to the Uber drivers and the hotel staff at all these places. Every single one of them said American Airlines is who they can count on for them to reach capacity, like weekly. And this was a Tuesday, so just a random Tuesday. Majority of the hotels in Charlotte, North Carolina were fully booked because of American Airlines fucking up. And I'm like, are they secretly trying to just like fuel the economy of Charlotte? I know it just maybe doesn't make sense, but in my head, I'm like, that's gotta be why. They're just pumping and dumping us here. Like the Uber driver said that he can count on giving people rides for American. It was so fucked up. And so I messaged the app, which is who they told me to reach out to about my issues with them. The app tells me to fill out a form, and then the form says, so sorry about that experience. That's it. That's basically the gist of it. It's an email that says a whole lot of nothing. But I was like crying. Like this was a very stressful day for me. I hadn't slept at all. I traveled for over like 15 hours, which I know is nothing if you're traveling abroad, but like 15 hours where you don't know if you're going to be able to get home is fucking scary. And, you know, I had come back from like a 2-week long like work vacation. It was like, you know, some leisure, some not, some just freaking goofs, but it was very stressful. And American Airlines can kiss my ass. I have one more trip with them because I like purchased it before this ordeal. But yeah, I just don't want to fly with them anymore. It sucks. Because it's like when everyone else has told me they've had bad American experiences, and it was like, yeah, well, that's just like not how they've never acted that way towards me. Like it was some mean girl, you know, that's just been nice towards me and hasn't done anything rude yet. And then they do you wrong. They do you wrong. Then you're like, shit, everyone else was right. I should have been listening to them the whole time. But it sucked. I'm just happy to be home. I'm also like, you know, I did have a place to stay that night. I'm sure some people didn't, and so that I'm just happy everything's okay. I've been catching up on sleep since I got back here, and it never feels like it's enough. That is the one thing about traveling, is when I'm done with it, I feel like dead for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then I travel again. And so it's going to be a lot of me trying to get into a routine that I'm immediately going to get out of again. And like traveling, I eat like shit. Sometimes I don't, but like I was making dinner and it was like so much butter. So I don't eat butter at home, which maybe I should, cause like, you know, be a person and live your life to the fullest. But I don't eat butter at home. I'm not anti butter, you guys. I love butter, but that's why I don't have sticks of butter at home. She's different. She's got mental illness, ain't she? The fact I use olive oil that's not just the spray type anymore is amazing. There's so many things though, like I saw this woman like marching in place after eating Terry Blacks. It was like this old middle-aged Asian woman. Old middle-aged. Middle-aged is not old. It's technically middle-aged. So this middle-aged woman was like doing marching in place after eating Terry Blacks, and I was like, that's literally me. I've never felt so seen, because I will eat food and then start working out like it's gonna negate that. Like it's gonna negate what I just did. It's just like the eating disorder mentality of it. It's like interesting when you see it in other people, or like you see it reflected. You're like, do I look like that doing that? So like seeing that lady march in place was like that. And then the Sarah Barnett and I were once tanning on my roof, and she started doing crunches, and I was like, oh my God, girl, we are the same. I in college I used to go get like really stoned with my friends, and then I just start doing like crunches or like jumping jacks. I just like, it's gonna negate. Like you gotta keep doing it so you can reach your daily goal. Do a squat. I don't know. Sometimes like I'll see someone do that and I'm like, oh God. I see myself in doing that. It's just very funny, because you never wonder how you look doing it in the moment, but then you see someone else doing it and you're like, oh, maybe I have a problem. Maybe I do have a problem. I do less of the crunches around friends when I'm stoned, because I think I just don't do it as often. But it's still something I crank out every now and then. Like if I'm just getting stoned at home, I'll do a little workout. I was just doing. Did that sound like wind? No, those were my nostrils. Whoa. I did 30 minutes when I was in Austin at Fallout Theater. That was a lot of fun. I wasn't even sure I would be able to do 30, and then while I was doing it, I didn't do some of my material. I was like, oh, I definitely have that. Is it a tight 30? No. I probably only like 10 minutes of it. It's really a tight 10, an okay 20, and a really loose 30. Like the jokes I feel like I perfected are like 10 minutes, and I know they're still gonna change. I like to keep changing jokes. I feel like my like tightest 5 has turned into a really tight 10, and all the jokes keep developing the more you write them. But it went really well. It was interesting because I thought it was just gonna be people I know there, but there were a lot of just like random people that came to my show, and it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. I also saw like people from college. My roommate from college came. That was so much fun seeing her. I had one roommate in college I liked, and it was her. We had like a random whore move in the middle. And I say whore like I wasn't a whore. I just didn't like her because she fucked all my friends, and it got weird. She also, it was just a shady bitch. Her name, it's like when someone spells their name in a different way. Like where there should be a T, there's a D, and it's like, oh, just tell me your She was just trashy. I did not like her. She was very trashy, very tacky, but you could say the same about me back then. I'm sure she's fine. She like adopted a dog while she was living with us and then got rid of it. And at the like end of us living together, she was like, remember guys, remember when I fostered that dog? And I was like, oh, you mean remember when you adopted a whole ass dog and then gave it back to the shelter? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. Remember when you also fucked the guy I was seeing for like 5 months? I remember that too. Or I guess I was fostering him for you. I don't know. She was cringy. I did not like her. But again, I think she would say the exact same thing about me to her. I tried being nice. I introduced her to my friends, and then I did talk shit about her because she sucked. But also I sucked back then, so I can't. Maybe she's like cool now. Um I had this weird occurrence. I think I might have talked about it before on here, where I reached out to someone I used to be friends with because she just kept looking at my TikTok page. I was like, well, if you're going to keep looking at me, I'm just going to like call it out and be like, what's up? So I just said, hey, you've been on my mind. How are you? Lie, you're only on my mind because TikTok keeps telling me that you're viewing my page. So of course I'm going to be like, what's good, girl? And she like turned it in to me making amends with her. But I reached out to her, and she basically tried to turn it into me making amends because I don't drink anymore. She's also a literal alcoholic. She has had the police called on us in an Uber before. The Uber driver sucked, but she also was instigating a situation. It's like, dude, let's just leave. You know, like we don't need to always be right. And I think it was because she took the Uber's water, or she brought a water. The Uber thought it was his. He said to leave it. And then instead, because she took it, he called the cops. I was like, dude, just leave it. Just leave it. You know, like I understand this is your water, but we're also drunk and I just want to go to bed. I have water inside. Instead, she gets the police called on us. And so she's telling me that I am like, basically, she's like, I hope you're a better person now, you know, like, because you're sober now. I was like, I didn't bring up the fact I was sober. It's not like a talking point for me, really. It doesn't affect, like, it affects my everyday life, but not like consciously, and like I just don't drink. And so her to just be like very belittling about it, I was like, about how much better of a person I must be now because I'm not drinking, and how I like, you know, like, yeah, no, I mean, like, you were a bad person then, but I forgive you. And I was like, I didn't text you to apologize, you know? Now you're making me want to do a shot of tequila, but I won't. It is like the thing about like not drinking. Like I was seeing this guy like casually for like 2 years, 2 to 3 years during the pandemic. Like it started in 2020. I think it ended in 2022. 2020, I don't know. But like we were seeing each other for a minute, and it was like when we were in the same city, it was like we were dating. And then when we weren't, we weren't. He was in New York in October, and I stopped drinking 2 Octobers prior to this. And I think I said something about, yeah, I don't drink. And he said, yeah, you know, the last time I saw you, I was really worried about you because I was blackened. I'm aware I had a problem. This was like only a few days before I stopped drinking was the last time I saw him in person. And it's just like, he was like, yeah, I thought I should maybe say something. And I was like, I don't drink now. Why are we doing this? You're telling me you're worried about me years later. It's just so like, I think it makes them feel better. It's also just so annoying and patronizing. It's like, do you know how offensive this comes off? Yeah, I don't understand some people. This got pretty negative. I mean, I know that my stuff about American Airlines was going to be negative, but now I'm just like talking kind of negative. I don't know if I like that. But it's just kind of my truth and what's been like going on. I had a clip do well. It reached 1 million on Facebook, 1.6 million on TikTok. I did not expect that. Normally I'll clip something and it doesn't go that well. It's been crazy because I'm getting just a lot of comments of people telling me how old they think I look now. And it's so like, it's okay to be 36. Just give me money back for my Botox then if you really think I look that old. Be like, oh, you're like 46 with kids. Or, oh, your things didn't fit you. That outfit fits me like a fucking glove. I'm not busting out anywhere. I just have a uterus. And you know what? If I look 36, so be it. Who gives a fuck? It's just ugly people who are like trolling on the internet. Because I only troll when I'm miserable. That's how I know when people troll, they're not feeling their best. Because I'm not feeling my best when I do it. That's the only time. And I only reply to hate comments under like other accounts for my friends' videos. I had that like rule for when I troll. I have to have ground rules because I will get so much worse mentally if I do my own videos. And it doesn't feel good to be mean, in my opinion. Some people may love it. It doesn't feel good to me. I only do it when I'm feeling really bad. And I'll just fight trolls for my friends' videos. I've done it for Dylan. I've done it for Philip. I just got so many crazy, rude comments. And people are calling me racist. Okay, then whatever. I'll be racist against the white man. Who gives a fuck? I mean, God, the only way white men matter, in my opinion, is if they have a fucking boat. Like, that's the only way. Like, I'm so sorry. Ooh, I might be racist towards white people. I'm half white. Sorry I didn't, like, dig into that on stage. Like, my white family has aged so poorly. My Hispanic family looks pretty good. So that's my fucking, like, I'm very blessed to, like, have, to, like, my father's genetics are pretty dominant in, like, me and my sister and my brothers. So I mean, I think we're gonna age fine, and who gives a fuck? The only people who are mad probably just felt attacked, you know, because they're ugly and aging like a raisin, spoiling like milk baby. I wanted to film me reacting to my hate comments. I'm kind of lazy right now and don't feel like putting them up on the screen, because I could do that, because I did screenshot them. Full transparency, I had, when I was really sad in North Carolina, I was like, what's going to make me feel better? Oh, let's screenshot hate comments. It did not make me feel better. It made me feel like more shit. But here are some of the hate comments. Women like you are the reason men say we can't be funny. You set us back 100 years with your talentless brain rot. Thanks, Brittany, all caps. If you hate white people so much, give back your white blonde cheerleader name and go by Belinda. You're so clever. I don't think I'm the reason men say women can't be funny. Majority of the people who watch my content are men. And I think you might just be a little sensitive baby and need a wambulance. Also, I just love when people try to insult you and they have, like, just a plain ass, like, let me, like, that's their avatar. Also, not all the fingerprints on my fucking screen. Female comedians are like female basketball players. Hot? Or tall? I'm not tall. I don't know what you mean then. What do you mean? You might be Mexican, but you look 36. Thank you, user without a picture. It's so funny. Haha. Casual racism. So I commented back, you seem real fun. It's towards white people. I think if you're triggered by someone saying something about white people, bless your heart. I love bless your heart these days. Bless your heart, reap what you sow, skip rocks. Those are my favorite insults. She does look older than 26. Another person, none of these people have pictures of themselves in their profile. It's just so funny. Mexicans don't age well. Every Mexican woman over 25 looks 60. I don't know about that. I feel like I see a lot of young Mexican women. And I'm like, y'all look great for mothers of 5. You know, like, I don't understand. Like, I will see a woman that looks like she should be a teenager, but no, she has like 5 grown ass kids, all with like fucking mustaches. I'm just saying. I think Latinas and Hispanic people just like age beautifully. Like, black don't crack. They age so gracefully. I wish. Then Hispanic people. Maybe like Asians than Hispanic people. Well, I don't know. Not me like rating rating what race ages best. No, but I don't know. Okay. You look 36. She ain't wrong. See what you see. But I feel like if you're saying I look 36 in that video, you're definitely the type of person who's like, oh, I thought they were 23. They're 14. They're 14. That's all I feel like when I see those comments. I'm like, oh, you sound like Crystalia right now. Wasn't that funny? Yeah, I mean, it was just a clapback, King. It wasn't really like a bit. It's obviously not funny. I've been waiting to use the skin tint is giving melanoma for a while, though, actually. I mean, I wrote that down a while ago because my mother had melanoma growing up. So I just, like, thought that was a fun insult. I did actually get out my phone during it and try and film. I didn't get great footage. If I'm feeling it later when I edit these videos, future Brittany, hey, put it in. But also future Brittany may not. Someone says I look old because I dress terrible. I thought that was a good outfit, but you pop off, queen. You look mid to late 30s. You look 45. You literally look 35. It's always people without fucking profile pictures. Just had to be racist. You look older than 26. She looks like a middle-aged mother. Yeah, hi, I'm Brittany Ledesma, and I look like a middle-aged mom. Thank you so much. I love being gaslit on the internet about how old I look. It's fun because it's giving abusive ex-boyfriend. I love how absolutely uninterested you look when she starts talking about female empowerment. Well, okay, so the whole video is that someone said I looked 26. They heckled the comedian before me, and they were just like really rude. And this woman said I looked 26. We had like a little back and forth of me like being like, yo, like, what did you mean by that? Like, blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't expand. And then I called her Stormy Daniels, and I clipped it real tight because the whole interaction probably took like 10 minutes because she wouldn't fucking leave the club. And I said she looks like her skin tint is giving melanoma, and her friend, first of all, Stormy Daniels is a beautiful woman. It was just the only one that popped in my head. She took it in a very offensive way, and I'm like, I just don't think you're as beautiful as Stormy Daniels, but I could have said a lot worse, you know, like it was like very much a white woman, too much like makeup on her eyes, not aging gracefully, but also had a shit ton of like work done on her boobs specifically. And I had whatever interaction with her, and I think the last thing I said was like, defend women, she's 90% silicone, implying that she's more silicone than a woman, or human or whatever. And I have filler. Doesn't mean it's not a good fucking joke to say in the moment. God damn. People are acting like I'm like, it's just a joke. People act like everything's like such a statement. I'm like, it's really not. It's just a fucking joke. Like, I have jokes about like, I love dark humor. And I think the best part is like, yeah, obviously that's not true. It's a fucking joke. And people can't take a fucking joke anymore. Like, I talk about a lot of like, I don't want to say tragedy, but I've had lots of mishaps in my life where I'm able to like talk about it now and like make jokes through it. I was cheated on a guy who lived in a car and had erectile dysfunction. That is fucking funny. It's an insane thing to happen, and to have that story is very funny. And like, if I didn't joke about it, I would just be sad that a guy cheated on me. It's fucking funny. It's annoying that people can't take a joke. It's annoying when people can't take a fucking joke. I think it's, you know, if you come to a comedy show and you're going to make a scene, I'm sorry. I'm not going to, like, let that happen. You're coming to my work and doing this. I'm not heckling you at your job. And the staff was amazing. It did take them, like, 10 minutes to kick her out because the girl who kept chanting defend women was telling the security guards to hit her. She was like, hit me, hit me, hit me. And it's always like, it's such fake feminism because it's like, oh, you want me to support a woman even though she started it and was clearly in the wrong. Now I have to support women when y'all weren't supporting women to start with. Okay. Fun. I love the way this crazy bitch's mindset works. But no, I'm a woman, but that doesn't matter. Don't defend me. And then yelling hit me because, you know, there's still a double standard about a man hitting a woman, and it's just bullshit, and like just trying to incite violence. So they went and got the cops. Eventually she left, and I was just like, everyone was so great. The crowd was amazing. They all were very kind. I got like high fives on the way out. I was like, it wasn't that great, you guys. It's really okay. It was the most fun set I've had in a very long time, and I'm very proud of how I handled it. And I don't think it's like amazing or anything. It's just happened, and I was really proud of how I handled it because it shows, like, I don't think a year into comedy I would have been able to handle it, but like 5 years later I did, and I'm really proud of that. 5 years and like tons of really shitty bar shows later, I'm very proud of that. Yeah, I got a lot of rude comments, but I got a lot of very nice comments, and those are like the ones I try to focus on more. I don't really like to, I'll reply to a lot of comments just so the video keeps getting boosted, but like, I don't know, I gotta stop that. I don't know if that's going to keep happening for me. It's just one of those things, like, it's so stupid how much social media has to do with comedy and like being able to like get booked and like more touring and stuff. But I would really love the chance to get to actually tour this next year. And that's just kind of my goal right now, is to be able to like go on my own to do comedy and travel. But my camera's running out of battery. But thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you all have a lovely night. Stay safe, kings. Why did I clap again? Stay safe, kings.